On the African savannah, survival is never a quiet story. Every blade of grass can hide danger. Every shadow can become a hunter. Every sunrise opens a new chapter in the endless battle between fear, hunger, speed, and instinct. Tonight, we step into that unforgiving world, where some animals rule through power, some survive through teamwork, and others endure through silence, precision, and impossible grace. Lion, the king of power, but never truly at peace. There is one sound that, when it rises through the African night, makes almost every creature pause. It is the roar of the lion, not merely the voice of a predator, but a declaration of power, a boundary line, the sound of a throne built on blood, hunger, and the endless need to prove oneself worthy of it. As the heat of late afternoon begins to fade, the pride awakens. For most of the day they have lain beneath the shade, looking like nothing more than golden bodies stretched lazily in the grass. But that is only the surface of an extraordinarily efficient social machine. Among the big cats, the lion is the exception. It lives in a pride, and the pride is what transforms it from a powerful hunter into an empire of hunters. A lioness lifts her head and tastes the wind, the scent of wildebeest. Another silently rises, muscles stretching after the long sleep. The cubs instinctively move farther back. They know the adult's hour is about to begin. No spoken commands are needed. Each lioness takes her place. One circles left, one stays low in the grass. One waits near the likely escape route. This is no longer simple instinct. This is strategy sharpened by countless nights of hunting. On the savannah, the lion's true power does not lie only in teeth or claws. It lies in coordination. A lone lion is formidable, but a pride of lionesses that understands one another can bring down prey far larger than themselves. Zebra, wildebeest, warthog, even buffalo can become targets if the moment is right. But being king has never been easy. Lions do not live in total security. They must compete with hyenas for food, avoid the revenge of buffalo, stay clear of the fury of elephants and hippos, and above all, fight their own kind to keep the pride, the territory, and the right to pass on their bloodline. A male lion lies several meters from the group, his dark mane stirring lightly in the evening wind. He does not join every hunt, but his presence is a warning to every rival that this place already belongs to someone. Yet behind that majesty, there is always instability. Somewhere beyond the edge of the territory, coalitions of nomadic males are waiting. One defeat in battle, and the throne changes hands. And that is the cruelest truth about the lion. The closer it stands to the top, the less it can afford to show weakness even once. The grass ahead trembles as zebra is cut off from the herd. The moment comes like lightning. One lioness bursts out to block the escape. A second drives into the prey's flank. Claws hook into flesh. Jaws close on the throat. The hunt is quick, violent, and deeply calculated. There is nothing romantic in the throne of the savannah. Only skill, hunger, and the ability to end a life before it fully understands what is happening. But even after bringing prey down, the lion still cannot rest. The laughter of hyenas begins to rise in the distance. The hyena clan has smelled blood. If the pride is outnumbered, if only a few exhausted lionesses remain around the carcass, the kill can absolutely be threatened. On the savannah, being king does not mean peace. It means constant challenge. Lion life is also stained by tragedy within the species itself. New males that take over a pride may kill the cubs of the former rulers in order to force the lionesses back into breeding condition. It sounds merciless, but nature does not ask whether we find it cruel. It simply continues. And the lion, that symbol of power people so admire, actually lives in a world full of loss, violence, and endless pressure. Perhaps that is exactly what makes the lion so captivating as well as terrifying. It is not some invincible king from a storybook. It is a ruler that must fight every day in order to remain a ruler. And that is why every roar in the African night feels heavier than it seems. It is not only a warning to others, it is also a declaration to itself, I am still here. Across the African savannah, where claws and brute force dominate every encounter, there is one creature that almost seems out of place. It cannot fly. It does not have jaws built to crush bone. It does not possess a roar powerful enough to shake the night. And yet when death comes charging in, very few animals on the grassland can escape as spectacularly as it can. This is the ostrich, the largest bird on Earth, and one of the most astonishing survivors of the savannah. Morning spills across the plains in a pale, golden light. Wind glides over low bushes, stirring the dry grass into thin waves. In that vast open space, a male ostrich stands upright, its long neck rising like a living marker on the empty land. Its large eyes constantly sweep the horizon. In the world of the ostrich, seeing danger before the enemy sees you is the first rule of survival. It is not a predator. It cannot hide in the brush like a leopard. It survives through speed, through vigilance, and through an instinctive ability to read the savannah like an open map. The ostrich is one of nature's great contradictions. It is a bird that gave up the sky. In exchange, nature gave it terrifyingly long legs, spring-loaded muscles, and the ability to run so fast that many predators are left in despair. Every stride it takes is not simply an act of escape. It is a demonstration of evolution itself, of millions of years of selection, turning a vulnerable animal into a master of ground speed. Not far away, a clan of hyenas is moving across the plain, shoulders raised high, noses testing the air. The ostrich notices them immediately. It does not panic. Not yet. It stands still, watching, calculating the distance. That is what makes this giant bird so remarkable. It does not only run fast, it also knows when to remain calm, when to explode into motion, and when to turn itself into a storm of long legs that nothing can stop. An ostrich nest is not hidden in a tree or tucked into a cliffside. It lies directly on the ground, a shallow scrape in a landscape full of waiting danger. That makes its eggs and chicks constantly vulnerable. Lions, hyenas, wild dogs, and even vultures can all become threats. But the ostrich is not only an animal that runs. When cornered, one kick from its powerful legs can tear flesh, break bones, and even kill a careless predator. A young chick stumbles behind its mother. It looks fragile, as if it has almost no chance in a savannah overflowing with danger. Yet that is the strange truth of life here. The most vulnerable creatures sometimes carry the strongest will. An ostrich chick learns to run almost from its first days. It has to. In Africa, childhood does not last long. Either you keep up with the group, or you disappear from the story. But the most astonishing thing about the ostrich is not the moment it stands still like a watchtower in the middle of the savannah. It is the moment it turns its back on danger and transforms the ground itself into a deadly racetrack. The grass suddenly bursts apart. A lioness launches from the side, her body flattened low like a spear thrown by a hunter. The ostrich does not wait even one more heartbeat. It spins, and those long legs drive forward like enormous pistons. Within seconds, the distance is already widening. Every stride is so long, it seems to glide over the earth. Dust explodes behind it. Neck stretched straight, wings slightly open for balance. In that instant, it is no longer a bird. It is speed in the shape of one. A lion may be stronger. It may be more terrifying. But in a long race across the open grasslands, the ostrich holds something that very few enemies can match: the endurance of huge, relentless strides. And if a predator comes too close from the front, its defensive kick can turn the hunt into a disaster. The ostrich also plays an important role in the ecosystem. It eats seeds, leaves, insects, and fruit, then spreads plant life through its droppings, helping shape the vegetation of the plains. It is also part of the savanna's early warning network. With its height and far-reaching vision, the ostrich often spots danger first, unintentionally becoming a living lookout tower for many other grazing animals. To many people, the ostrich is a strange bird, sometimes even a comical one. But the savanna does not keep useless things alive just because they seem curious. If the ostrich still exists and thrives in a land full of predators, that means it is a masterpiece of survival. And when the sun sinks low and the ostrich shadow stretches across the grassland, we realize one beautiful truth about nature. Not every warrior wins through teeth and claws. Some survive through their legs, through their awareness, through knowing exactly when to stand still, or when to run, as if death itself is breathing behind them. Crocodile, the silent sentence beneath the waiter. You can see a lion from far away. You can hear hyenas in the night. But there is one predator that almost never gives any warning at all until the victim disappears from the world. Beneath Africa's rivers, where the water seems calm enough to be harmless, the crocodile lies waiting like an ancient sentence that has never been erased. Morning lays a golden sheen over the river. Herds of wildebeest, young elephants, antelope, and zebras come down to drink. They come because they are thirsty. But on the savanna, thirst is not merely a need, it is a gamble. Every mouthful of water may mean life, or the last time a creature ever sees the sky. The crocodile does not hunt in dramatic fashion. It does not race across the plains. It does not need open speed. It does not need teamwork like lions. Its strength lies in disappearance. Its enormous body presses against the riverbed, hidden in cold mud, exposing only its eyes and nostrils. From above, it looks less like an animal than like part of the river itself. A wildebeest steps into the water first. It pauses, lifts its head, listens, but all it hears is wind, the herd behind it, the lap of water against the bank. It cannot hear patience. It cannot hear the killing instinct holding its breath directly below. Then everything happens in an instant. The surface explodes. One bite locks around the prey's leg. There is no warning, no time to react, only an immense force dragging downward into the mud, the blood, and the waiting suffocation below. The herd scatters in terror. Water sprays everywhere. Cries rip through the morning air. But for the crocodile, the first bite has nearly already decided the victim's fate. Once its jaws are locked, it begins to spin. The death roll is not just a hunting technique, it is an execution. Muscles, joints, bones, everything is twisted in a storm of desperation. The prey is not merely bitten. It is stripped of any control over its own body. The crocodile is a breathing fossil from the world of predators. Across millions of years, very little about it needed to change. That alone tells us how perfect its design already was for the task it was born to perform. In the stillness of the river, it is the highest form of ambush. But what makes the crocodile most terrifying is not the moment it strikes, it is the moment when the river becomes calm again, as though no one had died there at all. Just a few ripples, then silence, a gap in the herd. One life gone. No triumphant roar, no display of dominance. That silence is the crocodile's true power. It teaches every creature that comes to the river that the greatest danger is not when you see the predator, but when you see nothing at all. During migration season, crocodiles become ancient ghosts, rising back to life. When hundreds, then thousands of wildebeest hurl themselves into the river, the water becomes chaos. made of legs, horns, and desperate cries. But beneath all that madness, the crocodile remains unchanged in nature, cold, precise, and so economical with energy that it feels almost inhuman. It does not kill from hatred. It does not hunt in order to prove itself. It simply waits for the perfect moment, unleashes one single attack, and lets nature finish the rest. That is a kind of terror utterly different from the lion. A lion gives you a roar. A crocodile gives you silence. As brutal as it is, the crocodile remains an essential part of the ecosystem. It removes weak individuals, balances populations, clears carrion, and maintains the harsh laws of the river. In the natural world, fear is not always evil. Sometimes it is what keeps order alive. And when evening comes and the river turns red in the sunset, many animals still lower their heads to drink. They know the danger remains, but they also know they cannot stay away forever. That is the eternal tragedy of Africa's riverbanks, the place where life must come, even though death is already lying underneath. Every year, hundreds of thousands of lives enter a journey that none of them can be certain they will survive. There is no map, no absolute shelter, only fresh grass ahead, death on every side, and instinct driving them onward. This is the wildebeest, the animal behind one of the greatest and most brutal migrations on Earth. Dawn on the savannah is never truly quiet. Even before sunlight fully spills across the land, the pounding of hooves already rolls in from afar like distant drums. Herd after herd of wildebeest pours across the plains, creating a black river that seems to flow over the ground itself. Dust rises in a gray haze. Heavy heads swing with the rhythm of the run. Curved horns catch the morning light like hooks cast by fate. Wildebeest are not the most beautiful creatures in Africa. They are not as graceful as Thompson's gazelles, not as striking as zebras, not as imposing as buffalo. But they possess something stronger than beauty, collective endurance. An individual wildebeest may be just another prey animal in the eyes of a lion. But when tens of thousands move together, they become the heartbeat of the entire ecosystem. The dry season tightens around the savannah with heat and withered grass. Waterholes begin to disappear. Hunger pushes every species toward the edge of endurance. And then, as if some ancient command awakens inside the blood itself, the wildebeest begin to move. They do not travel because they seek adventure. They travel because if they stay where they are, they will die. Moving with the herds are countless other eyes. Lions silently follow the edges of the grass. Hyenas trail the weakest individuals. Vultures draw circles in the sky like black exclamation marks of bad omen. And at the rivers, crocodiles have been lying there for days already, motionless as ancient stones, waiting for the stream of life to deliver itself. A calf struggles to stay close to its mother's side. It was born not long ago, its legs still unsteady, yet it is already forced to run within a sea of pounding bodies. Its world leaves no room for hesitation. One misstep, one stumble, one moment of separation, and the savannah will swallow it instantly. What makes the wildebeest extraordinary is not individual strength, but the rhythm of the herd. When the whole mass moves, the ground itself seems to shake. They graze, churn the soil, leave dung behind, nourish the vegetation, and at the same time become a vital food source for countless predators. They do not merely live within the ecosystem. They help power it. But the most terrifying moment for the wildebeest does not come out on the open plains. It comes at the water's edge, where hope lies in front of them. Panic lies beneath their feet, and below the surface, waiting jaws decide the verdict. The herd bunches tightly at the riverbank. No one wants to be the first to jump. They stamp, sniff, shove, turn back, and surge forward again. On the far side lies green grass. Beneath the muddy water lie crocodiles waiting. There is no safe choice. To stay is to die from hunger, lions, or exhaustion. To leap is to enter a chaos no individual can control. Then, as happens every year, all it takes is one animal throwing itself down the bank for the chain reaction to explode. Hundreds of bodies slide, leap, crash into each other, horns locking, legs trampling over backs in collective panic. Water erupts white. Cries tear through the air. And from below, the crocodiles rise. Some are dragged under. Some are crushed to death in the current. Some make it to the far bank and stand trembling, as if unable to believe they have passed through the gate of death. But the herd does not stop. There is no time to mourn, because behind them, the river of life is still pushing forward. The wildebeest teaches the savannah one harsh truth. Sometimes survival does not belong to the strongest or the fastest, but to the ones who keep moving forward, even while knowing many of their own kind will fall along the way. They are not invincible. And because they are so vulnerable, their endurance becomes even more extraordinary. When we watch a herd of wildebeest stretching all the way to the horizon, we are not simply watching a grazing animal migrate. We are looking at collective will, taking the shape of a living flood. A flood born from hunger, chased by claws and teeth, and still flowing onward, as if nature never intended for it to stop. If there is one creature that seems to have walked straight out of prehistory and still stands on African soil today, it is the rhinoceros. Heavy, armored, short-sighted, yet capable of terrifying explosive force, the rhino is proof that nature sometimes creates living tanks and allows them to write their own rules. A white rhino moves slowly through a stretch of short grass. Its giant head points down, ears turning constantly, the horn at the front like a spear. At first glance, it seems slow, but it is the kind of slow that feels dangerous. The moment it senses pressure or threat, the rhino can surge forward with shocking speed, punishing anyone who underestimated it. Unlike elephants, which possess deep social bonds and complex herd behavior, rhinos are more solitary or loosely grouped. They do not need numbers to make a statement. They rely on size, natural weapons, and an unmistakable aura that says one thing clearly: do not come closer. Rhinos feed on grass or browse on vegetation depending on the species, and in doing so, they help shape the plant life around them. They create paths, use dung middens for communication, and indirectly support other creatures through the way they move and modify the landscape. Their ecological role is often overlooked, but it is deeply important. But everything changes the instant the wind carries an unfamiliar scent. The head rises, the ears lock forward. And in a heartbeat, that silent fortress becomes a cannonball charging straight toward the source of danger. That is what makes the rhino so formidable. Not because it is always aggressive, but because when it decides to attack, its power is almost impossible to stop. Lions rarely dare confront a healthy adult rhino. Only calves or vulnerable individuals become possible targets under exceptional circumstances. A rhino may have poor eyesight, but its hearing and smell are far stronger. It reads the environment through scent and sound, reacting instantly to anything unusual. An animal that seems dull or lumbering is in fact quietly alert at all times. There is a unique kind of fascination in the rhino. It is not smooth, elegant, or cinematic in the way a leopard or lion is. Its appeal is older, heavier, more primal. As though evolution itself still echoes inside that thick gray body. To look at a rhino is to see a biological design that places all its trust in direct force. And that is also why the rhino has become a painful symbol of vulnerability in the face of humans. In the wild, a healthy adult rhino has few natural enemies, but against poaching and greed, muscle and horn become meaningless. It is the tragic paradox. of an animal strong enough to intimidate predators, yet still in need of protection from the most dangerous species of all. When a rhinoceros walks quietly through the grass in the evening light, we are not only seeing a large animal, we are looking at a living relic, an ancient fortress still standing in a changing world. The rhino does not need noise. It does not need display. Its existence alone carries weight like a declaration. Some animals do not need performance to be feared. They simply stand there, and the entire landscape adjusts its distance. The giant that keeps the memory. And the law of the plains. In an Africa full of roars, blood, and endless chases, there is one animal that never needs to hunt, and still makes the land itself step aside. When a herd of elephants walks past, the ground trembles. Dust rises from the dry grass. And every creature nearby understands that this is not merely the arrival of a huge animal. It is the arrival of primal power in the shape of the family. Dawn lights the savannah and reveals immense bodies moving slowly forward. At the front walks the matriarch, the keeper of the herd's living memory. She remembers where water remained in years of drought. She remembers the safest paths through thorn scrub. She remembers the patch of ground that once swallowed a calf. For elephants, memory is not only an ability, it is a survival map. A calf pushes between the legs of its mother and aunt, swinging its trunk through the dust, as if the world holds nothing to fear. But the herd knows better than anyone that Africa is not gentle with the small. Lions may test their luck with a calf separated from the group. Hyenas are always waiting for mistakes. Even drought itself is a silent killer. That is why an elephant herd is not just a collection of individuals traveling together. It is a living fortress. At the first sign of danger, the formation changes instantly. Calves move inward. Adults turn their tusks outward. Ears spread wide. Deep rumbles travel through the air and even through the ground. To humans, they may just sound like calls. To elephants, they are commands, warnings, and love expressed through vibration. Elephants eat grass, leaves, bark, branches, and fallen fruit. But never mistake gentleness for weakness. A full-grown African elephant is a mass of power capable of toppling large trees, crushing obstacles, driving off rhinos, and turning any attacker into broken bones if he truly decides to fight. When the dry season arrives, water becomes more valuable than gold. Elephants become engineers of the ecosystem. They dig into the earth for hidden water, open paths through dense brush, and create spaces that countless other animals later use. Wherever elephants pass, nature changes. They do not really exist within the environment. They shape it. But the moment that makes an elephant truly terrifying is not when it walks slowly across the grassland. It is when a calf is in danger, and the herd decides it will not step back. The wind shifts. The scent of lions drifts in. The matriarch stops and raises her trunk. The mothers immediately tighten the formation. The calves are pressed into the center of the circle. In the distance, the grass stirs. The lions may only be watching. They may not attack. But elephants do not wait to find out. A deep rumble rises. Then, one mother steps forward. When an elephant charges, it is no longer the image of a peaceful herbivore. It becomes a landslide with legs. Every step slams into the ground like a hammer. Ears spread wide. Trunk curls upward. The whole body becomes a declaration that there are lines you do not cross. Lions understand this better than most. They may be kings in many hunts, but before a united herd of elephants, that throne loses much of its meaning. A lone calf may look like an opportunity. A herd protecting itself is disaster for anyone reckless enough to test it. What makes the elephant one of Africa's greatest animals is not size alone. It is the combination of memory, emotion, and strength. Elephants care for the injured, wait for the slowest, react deeply to the death of their own kind, and defend the next generation with a level of intensity few animals can match. When we watch a herd of elephants moving across the horizon, we are not simply watching the largest land animal on the continent. We are watching history roll by. Their footsteps carry the memory of drought, of rain, of loss, of survival routes passed down through generations. And perhaps that is the elephant's greatest power of all, not merely to survive, but to carry the memory of the land itself. Hyena, the logging army in the darkness. Few animals are more misunderstood than the hyena. People call them filthy, cowardly, nothing more than thieves that steal kills and feed on carrion. But if you had to spend a night on the savannah, you would quickly understand that behind that eerie laughter is no joke of nature. It is the sound of an army that is intelligent, relentless, and frighteningly efficient. Night settles over the grassland in a darkness that feels soft and threatening at the same time. In the distance, the voice of the hyena rises, sharp, broken, and unpredictable. To many animals, that sound means only one thing: be alert now. A clan of spotted hyenas is moving through the savannah, shoulders high, back sloping, jaws heavy, their gait relaxed, as if nothing in the world requires haste. Hyenas do not possess the cinematic beauty of lions or leopards, but nature has never chosen appearance over efficiency. Their jaws are so powerful they can crush bone. Their bodies are built for long, exhausting pursuits. And their society, especially under the dominance of females, is one of the most complex social structures among African predators. What makes the hyena remarkable is that it is not merely a scavenger, as so many people imagine. A huge number of the successful hunts in the night belong to them. They pursue, spread out, force prey to run itself into collapse. They do not need beauty. They do not need the perfect killing strike of a leopard. They win through endurance, through numbers, through the refusal to let go. A young wildebeest has fallen behind the herd in the darkness. The hyena clan notices at once. They do not rush in chaotically. One comes in from the right, one circles behind, others spread outward to cut off retreat. The whole hunt appears almost cold, practical, and highly organized. These are not monsters acting on impulse. This is strategy. And the most terrifying thing about the hyena is this: prey often does not collapse because of one fatal blow. It collapses because the hyena does not get tired before the victim does. The prey's breathing grows heavier. Its stride loses rhythm. Its legs begin to fail. The clan keeps coming. No panic, no rush. As if they already know that time will eventually choose their side. This is a form of power, very different from the lion's explosive violence. It feels like a slow tightening grip, but one that never loosens. Hyenas are also famous for their brutal rivalry with lions. The two sides steal kills from each other, kill each other's young, and harass each other around almost every carcass. A large hyena clan can absolutely intimidate a few lionesses, but the appearance of a full-grown male lion can reverse the entire situation in an instant. The savannah is a land of conflicts that never really end, and the hyena is always there, inside them. Their immense jaws are not only useful in the hunt, they also allow hyenas to consume what other predators leave behind. Bone, tendon, hide, the parts many others cannot use. Hyenas process almost completely. That makes them a powerful biological cleanup force. In the ecosystem, sometimes the creature that looks the most disturbing is also the most efficient. There is a particular kind of respect the hyena earns. It does not need to be loved. It does not need the admiration given to lions. It only needs to survive, to keep hunting, to keep laughing in the dark, and in doing so, prove that nature does not care about reputation. It only preserves what truly works. When the laughter of hyenas echoes across the savannah at night, it is not the laughter of madness. It is the sound of communication, of strategy, of collective power. And for any prey slowing down in the darkness, it is also the bell that says one thing clearly. Tonight, the army of endurance has begun its hunt. On the savannah, no life is ordinary. Every creature carries a different strategy, a different fear, a different way of surviving under the same brutal sun. Some run like lightning. Some hunt as one. Some kill with elegance. Some work in silence beneath the earth. And some survive by dancing one step ahead of disaster. If this wild journey amazed you, tell us in the comments which animal fascinated you the most. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Because out there, the savannah still holds countless stories waiting to be uncovered.